Alright, good morning everyone. Here we go. So it looks like we're back and all of the sound should be working. So if you're here yesterday, we had encountered 3 crashes within Warcraft. So if anyone's experiencing that here recently, there's a whole slew of countermeasures to go through, one of which is deleting your WTF, your interface, and your cache folder. So that being said, all the add-ons had to be reset. So if it looks a little bit different this time around, I'll fix that later, but I just wanted to get in here and get this going again. So as per normal, let's go ahead and knock out the rules. The number 1 rule is no dying, which is followed by no gear above white quality, no gear enchants, no talents. You can have a spec, of course. You have to have a spec in Legion. No potions, no flasks, no elixirs, no health stones unless you're a warlock, no joining groups or raids, no dungeons or raids, no food buffs, no XP boosting activities such as the monk racial, recruiter friend, and whatever else is going on at the time, no pet battles, no bodyguards, no professions except for first aid, which I still have not done yet. As far as anyone else completing the challenge, I don't have too much of an update. I think Exploding Ember is still at level 18 or 19, and Nylum with his new monk is at level 10. I'm not sure what his spec is, but I know Exploding Ember spec is Beastmaster right now. So we're going to close that out and get right into the game here. We'll cancel that, but we do want to save it. Alright. So, let's go ahead and log back in. Now, if you remember from yesterday, we did go through the cave here. So it looks like, yeah, I might have to modify my UI. There's a little bit of overlapping, so just to make this look cleaner, I'm going to rearrange my chat text. So, sorry about that. 1 second. We're going to make sure this is nice and clean looking for the duration of the raid, and we're going to unlock it. So we're going to move that over just a little bit and bring it down so that it's not as terrible looking. There we go. Alright, so without that out the way, I'm going to go ahead and put my Hearthstone and everything else back to where it was. Let me see here. So we got the pets out. We have all the icons up. I might end up changing the size of the icons. They seem a little big, but yeah. So that's where we're gonna go. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map. I'm going to, ooh, there's a quest over here. I'm gonna do a little bit of combat along the way, make sure all of my macros and add-on, I don't have any macros yet, but my key bindings are up to par. I don't want to get neck deep in combat here and find out something that I thought was working is not. So I did forget to, yeah, I think the last time we crashed, I had went ahead and called it at that time. But the Blasted Lands, okay, we'll pick it up. We're going to need to really debate whether or not Blasted Lands is the best course of action, because I don't know how Blizzard has set up that zone. So if you remember, during the introduction of Warlords of Draenor, all the level 90s would go into the Blasted Lands through a portal, which I think if you just flew to the zone, you may also encounter the same zone. So I don't know if the portal is like a almost an instantized version of the Blasted Lands for level 90, but at any rate, whether or not we should go to level 9, go to the Blasted Lands and risk encountering level 90s is maybe something to be debated. On the other hand, going to Silithus may be the safer option for us, so let's do that. And let's go ahead and I'm gonna go all the way back west over here. So I thought we were done with this little area, but I guess not. So just gonna meander down the road here and hope for the best. So one of the I guess from yesterday when Warcraft crashed, there's quite a few different causes. If you're playing Warcraft and you encounter just random crashes, the first step is probably to go in and take a look at your add-ons. And it depends on the order of countermeasures is kind of be dependent on your priorities on add-ons. For me, since I changed my UI so much, I really didn't want to mess with my add-ons, but ultimately I went ahead and deleted my WTF, my cache, and my interface folder. So you know, I had copied the whole folders beforehand, but for whatever reason it didn't save my settings, so I don't know where the settings feature is saved. That's something I'm not aware of. But yeah, so if there's the other, yeah, I want to go ahead and kill these guys since we can just kind of get a feel for how the hunter is right now. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, the other thing is to kind of double check run a systems check on your temporary memory, your RAM memory, and see if there's any corrupted features, which there's a part of me that thinks mine might be. And I just noticed something. Let me just open up ZPro here. So I'm going to move this over here real quick because I just saw something kind of odd. Oh, you know what it is? I think it's my target's target. So we're going to find target here. Target's target. I wonder if I can... move that while I'm... There we go. Yeah. So we're going to set that there. Yeah, so it's been really fun going back through and updating all the add-ons again. It was good. I got rid of a lot of ones I never used, so that was kind of nice. But I'm gonna have to go back through and update a ton of them. So that's more of the background information on my end. On the in addition to that, I got a Windows update. So if for some reason the desktop audio isn't coming through, which I don't think it is actually, that's alright. Well, let's go ahead and use this chance to see what's going on here, because I thought I was 90% sure I had fixed that. So it doesn't look like any audio is coming through. So let me go ahead and see if I can fix that. And okay. It may not be coming through simply because there's no sound coming from Warcraft. So let's go and check that out real quick. System interface, sound. So maybe what we'll do is we'll keep it at 15. And we'll just bump up this sound, see if there's anything. All right. So sorry if you're watching and you're watching me go through my technical runs here, but I did have a server crash, or a WoW crash, and I had to go through and reset all my add-ons. So I'm slowly working back through this and seeing if I'm having any issues with my sound and whatnot, because I did get a Windows 10 update at the same time. So I'm going to turn this in, and we did not get a follow-up. So we're going to go back to, let's see, this guy right here in Starfall Village, and see if do a sound test here. Alright, so we got a little bit of sound. I'm hearing it on my end. I don't know if it's how well it's coming through on the other, but it looks like the music in Winter Spring, maybe it's not on loop with a P at the end. Loop. There we go. There it is. I hear it. Okay, yep, loop music. There we go. Alright. Alright, so if you're joining for the first time, this is the Ironman challenge, where you pretty much go through at level 1 through 10 and you try to get to 110 without dying a single time. And you do it with a ton of restrictions, including gear, potions, buffs, and all of that other stuff. So, like this right here, that would, if I use that would disqualify me. Even accidentally putting on a piece of gear will completely red flag your account. What most people do during the Ironman challenge is you upload your character information to a website. I think I have it linked in the description. But yeah, they kind of keep track of whether or not you've taken potions or you've eaten a food that's giving you some sort of buff. So that's the easiest way to do it. And as of now, there are only 18 people who have successfully made it to 110 doing the Ironman challenge. So that's just a testament to how difficult the challenge can be. And I don't know, even though it's difficult to me, I've found this one of the more fun things that I've done in game. And I've found myself looking forward to this more and more every day as I get on. So now I haven't died yet, so we'll see how my attitude, if it changes at all when if I die. We won't say when I die, if I die. Let's see, but we need to find, report to, what's his name? Alright, so we're gonna not track this one, I don't think. So that's gonna make this a little bit convoluted. Untrack, and then untrack Blasted Lands. And now we're going to be able to look exactly where we need to go. So we need to report to Wind Night Chaser and the Starfall Village. So if we can find our way up the mountain here to Starfall Village, then maybe we can get this show back on the road. Now, I might move my XP bar around, but it looks like it fits in the OBS, the streaming frame pretty well. So okay, so there's Wind Night Chaser. Let's see if we can hop up here. Okay, so we'll turn that in, and then Exterminators at Work, where we need to speak to Rhino. We'll call it Curtain Fire. That's kind of a cool name. And then we need to retrieve 5 Starfall relics. And it looks like that's... Nope, we have a quest, looks like it's up here as well. So let's go ahead and run up there and grab that real quick. Is it inside? Looks like it is. Yeah, it's down here in the hopefully there's nothing down here. I know a lot of people have kind of gone back and forth as far as how easy the hunter is. Oh, we do have stuff down here. That's interesting. Okay. So let's go ahead and kill that guy. I'd rather play it safe than sorry, given that you only get one chance to do this. Now, let's see. The exterminator's at work. So I'm guessing they're exterminating the spiders. It was step in to kill 10 gold lurk creepers and 5 gold lurk burrowers. And then we're going to bring the box of bug kill fumigators to Rima curtain fire. So I guess we need to find this guy down here and pretty much kill everything along the way. We're going to heal Sam up. Kind of keep a watch out for what's behind us. Now there's something clickable back there. Okay, yeah. Relic we need to pick up. So I think if I'm reading, yeah, he's right there. Okay. So I want to play more smarks conservatively as compared to normal, just because I've done as much background checking as I can and let my characters sit in game for a while, just hoping that the Warcraft window would crash. But let's see, bring back the box of bug kill to what's his name. So hopefully those checks have allowed me to kind of clear. You know what, let's just bring this back because we're probably going to have to go down there anyway. Wow, their bodies have already despawned, so wait a minute. We need to go further into the cave then. Okay. Because this guy is further down. I thought we had to return that, so yeah, when it makes me a little nervous when those guys despawn that fast. That just means that the respawn rate's a little bit faster, which it typically is in the enclosed areas such as caves and buildings and maybe even ships. So the trick with that is pretty much to just be extremely thorough and kill everything. Don't try to skip anything, and be quick about it. Move at a reasonably quick rate without being a risk to yourself. So it looks like, what is this, Marcy? Turn this into Marcy here. Alright, bring the box of bug kill fumigators to Sala, who will probably be curtain fire in Barrow's Den. So it looks like that might be in a different place altogether. So it's just pretty much kill and collect at this point. Now the debate I've been having is going back and forth between, the goal today is to hit 58 actually. So you know, there's two lines of thought. Do we go at 58? Do we just try to head to the Outland and maybe grind out there a little bit and work our way up to 60 and do the quest, or do we finish 60 in the old world and head to Silithus and or the Blasted Lands? Not too much of a fan of the Blasted Lands, so we're going to make sure. I want to turn down the audio just a little bit because it looked, no, I think it might be alright. It might be alright. So we're going to work our way. It looks like there is a quest turn in down on this level, so let's keep moving along down here. we're good on the spiders. We just need one more worm down here. And then, let me see, we're going to, I guess we need to run up there and figure out how to turn in that quest to, I think it's Sarah? Sarah? Zana. There we go. So slow him down. And then we will, I don't think we need any more spiders, but just to be safe, no. Okay. Sam went ahead and figured we'd kill that now, so we're going to kill that now then. And we're going to, Sam's got a little bit of poison on him. Let's let that wear off, and then we'll heal him up here now. I think what we'll do is, this cave has an opening to the left, and we'll just turn around and turn that quest in real quick. So we've killed everything we need to kill, so there's no more necessarily a push to do that. We just need to play smart, for lack of better terms. Try not to aggro more than 2 at a time, because it looks like the poisons on these guys stack. So if one poisons you and another one poisons you, it doesn't necessarily extend the poison, it just puts 2 on top of you. So those are hard to deal with. Now find Jez Good Grub at Good Grub Smoking Pit in Winter Spring. Okay, so that is going to be outside, so we're going to head back real quick and see if we can get out of here quickly without running into too many respawns. I think if I take this way right here, it might bring me up top quicker. Then again, I might be wrong. So the other nice thing about this, I say nice, but you know, when you're running around with your BOA gear and whatnot, to me, it's not that it takes the fun out of it. It's just there's no joy in seeing loot drop when you're in full BOA gear. So you know, if you have your BOA weapon and shield and your tanking and whatnot, and a nice shield drops, it's never going to be better than your BOA. So it's kind of hard to generate any level of excitement. First Light Pugsy, welcome back. Thank you, sir. So it looks like I've kind of worked my way through, and I think, cross our fingers, I think we're going to be free of crashing today. I don't know. But I didn't want to not at least attempt it today. I've went ahead and reinstalled all my add-ons, so my UI may look a little bit different. I might need to touch it up later, but to be honest, I'm enjoying this too much to not play. So let's see. There he is. How you doing, Pugsy? How's your morning going? Or is it afternoon for you? So I think we're done with the cave. We can head on out now. Also, in addition to the Warcraft crashing, I had a Windows 10 update. So it seemed like it changed my sound outputs and whatnot. So if those are changed too much, or the sound's too high or too low in one or the other, just let me know and I'll fix that as I can. Alright, so we're out of harm's way. We'll go turn that in. We've killed most of the lurkers in that tree, so that'll give it a chance. Seems like a little bit of a cold area for lurkers and spiders to be. Pugsy says, I use heirlooms, but I find them boring when you find good blue or green items. You remember, oh, I'm using heirlooms. Yeah, exactly. That's the same opinion I have. I understand. I guess it's all in what you're going for as far as heirlooms go, but like you said, if it's whenever you do see a piece of loot drop and then you look at yourself, you're like, oh, I got heirloom, and it's no big deal. So you don't really upgrade much of anything except for, you know, maybe your belt or your gloves, or I think that's just about it. I have 2 different rings, so I don't see too many rings. I guess bracers. They have bracers now. I'm good, thanks. You? Oh, doing pretty good. I've spent most of this morning and yesterday trying to make sure that Warcraft wouldn't crash. I did pretty much everything but reinstall Warcraft. If it crashes again, you know, I'm kind of gonna have to take add-on off by add-on, or go add-on by add-on. But it seems like that's not the issue in my opinion, because sometimes the crashing will occur like it did yesterday, 3 times in 30 minutes, or I won't see a crash for 3 weeks. So it's hard to say if that's a add-on based. Now, some other thing that if you do experience this, let me go ahead and Control R, I think. So that's your frame rates, and yeah, that bugs me. It's not centered, but I run my video settings at 10, so I've maxed out everything. Whether or not that's contributing, I don't know. I'll have to go through and double check, but we're gonna run it wide open right now and see what we can do. Now we need to find Jez Good Grub, so we're gonna cut straight through here and kill anything that, well, that's not what I want to target. I'm gonna kill anything that's red. Yeah. Pugsy says, yeah, I play maxed. It's nice actually. I had a terrible computer for a long time, and that's what got me through college. So being able to play on max settings kind of just a nice change of pace and refreshing to an extent. Now, going back to the BOA gear, I think if you have everything going on for you, you're running at right about 55% additional XP. So, you know, it's normal for you to kind of out-level the storyline for the zone. So I'm hoping maybe for the next expansion, or maybe even a future patch, that Blizzard kind of goes and implements what they did in Legion and kind of scales the zone to your level. That way, one, that would make I think the Ironman challenge a little bit more difficult, but two, it would also kind of encourage players to finish out the storyline and figure out you know, what happened, and get more of a basis of understanding and commonality with the characters, if you can use that word, commonality. So Good Grub is right around here, I think. Oh wow, this got a decent sized quest up here, so we'll turn this in. Puggy says, yeah, I had a bad PC until January, but with all the money I saved, I managed to buy a good PC. That's really good actually, because now, did you, when you purchased your PC, did you focus more on computing power or video card power? Kind of, what was your primary focus? Because for me, I kind of did the second and third best of everything, rather than trying to get the best processor or get the best video card. It seems like the price you pay at the time of when you purchase something, the cost between the first and second item is so the ratio of cost per performance increase is so much not in your favor, as opposed to between the second and third tier product. So that was kind of my strategy, is to kind of save money at the same time, but not necessarily get the cutting edge, because I don't know if you get your true money's worth out of that. Pugsy says, I wanted a good graphics card, RAM, and CPU. Okay, that's pretty much my same line of thought as well. I did change up though, and I went with the SSD hard drive, and that's been nice, especially when it comes to loading screens and oh, these guys drop quest items. So I didn't read any of those quests I picked up, so I'm just gonna Qyune my way through this, which usually means I need to go back and redo something. So it looks like everything's a kill quest more or less, so I'm gonna work up there to what looks like it's a little bit of a obscure area, kind of work my way back out. And we are not going to run by mobs. The worst thing that could happen would be for me to mount up and run by a mob and then crash and have that thing beat on me the entire time I'm trying to log back in. So I think we're going to play it a little extra safe today and just kill everything in sight. Which, being a hunter, ooh, okay, so when you pick up the eggs, we'll silence that. When you pick up the eggs, that aggroes them. So we want to make sure the area is not full of those things when we grab eggs next time. Like that guy right there. I bought my PC for £650. I got a good deal because the original price of the PC was $875. Oh wow, that's good. Where's Sam going? What is this cat doing? That is not Sam. That is a druid. Okay. That's funny. I thought that was my cat. But yeah, no, that's a pretty good deal actually. Going from $850 to $875. Avitas, how you doing? Morning. Avitas says, thanks for checking out the content, man. Yeah, no problem. I said I would, so I wanted to follow up and follow through with that. Have you started the Ironman challenge yet? Something's coming. I'll silence that. Go ahead and get up to these next group of eggs. So there was one down here, I think. So grab him as well. Pugsy says, I'm starting the Ironman challenge soon, and I'll probably stream it at some point this week. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, let me know when you do. And what I've been doing at the beginning of my streams, something's coming, okay. What I've been doing at the beginning of my streams is kind of announcing everyone's progress, because right now it's, I think, Nylum and Exploding Ember are the only two who are streaming it at the moment. So unfortunately Nylum was you know where this is going, was a survival hunter. So those are the ones with the grappling hook, I believe, and he accidentally equipped a green headpiece, which is immediately recorded and will red flag you. So that really sucks for him to accidentally do that. I'm going to pretty much never open my bags now until I need to sell something, because that's really unfortunate. Silence that. So if you do start, I would say, just purely my advice, in my opinion, go Night Elf. Whatever race is whatever, but the Shadow Meld ability has saved me 3 or 4 times as of now. Let's see. Avitas TV is saying, I've not been busy with my music at the moment. Going to be starting in a few weeks. Video. I have messed with my settings throughout. Yeah, I've been working on my sound as well, so I don't know if you were here at the time when I was telling everyone, but I got a Windows update at the same time that I've been working on these crashes. Oh, I did get hit. Okay, that's glad Sam saw that because I didn't. So it did change my audio settings for some reason, so I'm having to go back through and. Alright, it says I have aggro, but I don't. I was able to mount up, so that might be a. I think that's a tidy plate add-on. So I have to. Okay, it's gone now. Alright. So these are Horde. I did not know that camp was there, so I'm glad I saw that. Jesus Christ. Puxy says, have you heard of Lord of the Rings challenge? No, what is that? I've heard of the pacifist challenge and the what is it called? The other one, the bloodthirsty challenge, where I think the pacifist you have to kill less than an X number of mobs, and the so I think it's pretty much just grinding your way up to 110, whereas the pacifist. Is that a rare? No. Whereas a pacifist, you pretty much can't kill anything, and so I guess you're leveling via pet battles or mining and herbalism. I didn't really look into that one too much. I don't think either one of those would be as entertaining to watch, just because I don't know if dying has a requirement for either one of those challenges, but I don't know if it has the same appeal to watch. So what am I supposed to be getting off these guys? Nothing. These guys I need. Okay. Avita says, yeah, Windows 10 is weird with update changes to the system sometimes. Yeah, that's and they kind of update when they want, regardless of what your settings are. So I've given up with trying to control the updates, because a lot of times Windows in the past, you know, if you're the first to get an update, especially a major update, you're almost guaranteed to be the pioneer for any new problems. And you know, if someone hasn't figured it out, you're kind of stuck with it until either someone figures it out or Microsoft identifies it and sends in an update. So I try to avoid being the first to download a patch from Windows in general, but it looks like Windows 10 just kind of does what it wants when it wants, despite your settings. Avitas TV also says, might want to check your add-ons and drivers. Yeah, so that was a major part of yesterday, is I went through and updated all my drivers. Well, actually, I had updated all my drivers about a week or two prior to yesterday, and I don't know why I'm killing this guy, but so those were up to date. The add-ons were also up to date, but I guess they can be up to date and also cause issues. So I had to do the time-consuming task of taking them all out and then downloading them back on, or deleting them and downloading them back into the computer. So that ultimately just meant I had to reset all the add-on statuses, despite copying them and saving them somewhere else and then copying them back in. It didn't save my status, so I just figured I would go ahead and delete them entirely and just re-download them and start from there. So that's why my interface may look a little bit different, because I just quickly this morning put it together, so hence why I was about 40 minutes late. Now I might make my UI a little bit smaller, because I don't click too much, so I could probably make all these buttons a little bit smaller. I typically like to have a large mini map, just because that's just my preference. But I might make that a little bit smaller. We'll see. Trying to see if there's any rares up, but let's go ahead and save that rabbit this guy was just about to kill. Pugsy says I would post the link. To the forums, which tells you about the Lord of the Rings challenge, but it won't let me. Oh yeah, so from what I understand, there's a lot of bots on YouTube where they just go through and they spam your chat with links to their page or their whatever. So I have disabled links. So sorry about that. I think it's unfortunately the better option as opposed to trying to sift through chat and bot spam. And unfortunately too, a lot of people, I'm fairly new to the streaming environment in general, but you know, I kind of went in through and listened to a lot of other people's streams, and we need to slay 15 huntresses. Really? We have to go back through this and kill the females now. God damn. A lot of what they had an issue with were people who had smaller streams that would come in and spam their stream, and really it wasn't even smaller streams that would do that. Larger people would come in, and I guess they hire a bot. I don't really know. I don't care enough to get too far into it, but at the short answer is that it just prevents automated features from spamming your channel. But Avitas TV says, "That happened to me, previous computer of mine, but I still kept crashing and ended up having a fresh install." WoW. See, that's that's my last card for the software side of things, is to completely just reinstall WoW. So if I start encountering WoW crashes again, I'm just gonna have to reinstall Warcraft altogether, and which means I'm gonna have to go through my UI a second time. But you know, you do what you gotta do. It's not too big of a deal. It's about an hour's worth of work for me, and then however long it takes to download the game again. Some people have suggested to copy the game into another file and then copy it back and have that as a way of reinstalling, but to me that kind of defeats the purpose of reinstalling, because if you know, who's to say if you copy the game out that error will follow you when you paste it back in. So I'll just download it. If it crashes again, I'll just download it from the site and let it do its thing for however long it takes. But yeah, Pugsy, I'm kind of curious what the Lord of the Rings challenge is. That'd be interesting to look that up. So I'm gonna give me a second. I'm gonna write that down. I'll look that up and let you know what I think. Lord of the Rings challenge. So the goal today, guys, is to hit 58. And then kind of debate the decision of whether or not to go straight to the Outlands and maybe quest / grind our way up to 60, and that way we can handle those mobs better, or to go to Silithus or the Blasted Lands. I'm sorry if I'm repeating this for those that have already heard, but the Blasted Lands makes me extremely nervous, because that's how you get to Warlords of Draenor. So there's a lot of 90 level mobs in there, and I don't know how the scaling or the phasing works. So if you take the portal from Stormwind or Orgrimmar, you go straight into the Blasted Lands as a level at level 90. And I don't know if that's like the same zone that if you just walk to in the world and the in Azeroth, if that's the same thing. And because if it is, then that means that there's some level of phasing and shared zoning within that zone, and I would hate for whatever reason a level 90 mob to kind of bleed into the lobby zone and one-shot me. So I'm kind of leaning more towards Silithus, but then that's a ridiculous amount of travel time, so both kind of have its pros and cons. Vetus TV says, yeah, if you're not going to copy it back, then there's no point. Yeah, I agree. Pugsy says, also hit 20 subs. Really? I'm actually, I'm not keeping too close of a track with that, to be honest. I don't. Here's my opinion, and it's purely my opinion. Is when sometimes this people who stream. I'm doing this because it's fun, and I'm kind of hoping to maybe encourage others to do it, because this is an incredible amount of fun I've had in Warcraft. Saying that, I haven't died yet. We'll see what I say after I die, but yeah, I don't want to be like, all right guys, we have 19 followers, let's push it to 20, or you know, our goal today is 400 likes or something. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, for the average viewer, they don't care. They're just wanting to see the content and how things go. So that's kind of how I'm going to present my stream, is as much as possible. I don't want to kind of mention subs or likes or whatnot. If people like it, they'll like it. If that's kind of why I've put it in my outro, is I'll just put it there in a text version, and you know, if they're watching then and they like it, oh, I think we have a rare, yes, then that's awesome. But yeah, I just kind of want to focus on gameplay and having fun and talking about Warcraft and maybe other things as well. But it looks like we have a quest way up there. But let's see, Avitas TV says there's another portal for Hellfire in Stormwind for the TBC version. Now, are you talking about a private server or retail? Because I know in the mage area, whatever you call that zone, there's as soon as you zone in that tower, there's a portal that takes you to the Blasted Lands, and I think that's kind of for your level 90s. But then as you're walking out, there's a portal to Hellfire directly. Is that what you mean? We are almost done with these guys. We'll just see what that person on top of the cave, I think, wants. Yeah, so if I'm hoping I can hit 58 in this zone. That way I kind of have that decision to play with. My concern is that if I need to slay Shy Rotom, my concern is that if I don't hit 58, then I pretty much have to pick between Silithus and the Blasted Lands. And I went over there on my main earlier this week just to kind of scope it out and see what to look out for. And for some odd reason, maybe it's just because I'm 110, so you know, there's that. I think I need to go in this cave. But there were a lot of level 90 mobs just kind of floating around with the level 55, 53, 58 mobs. So I'm just really concerned that if one of those random patrolling 90s comes out of their phasing, if I'm going to be at risk of getting one-shotted. Oh, you play Horde? I played Horde for probably, I've been playing since the first year of vanilla, and I think I've played Horde about half the time I've played. The only reason I switched to Alliance was during the Warlords expansion. Whenever it launched, the servers were so terrible, and Illidan was where I played, and I thought this was a cave. Okay, so let me heal Sam up, but that server had gone down at days at a time, and I had taken off work. That was the first time I had taken off work for a game launch, so that was kind of disappointing. But just trying to make sure I don't aggro too much here. But yeah, since I was off from work and I had taken those days off just to play Warcraft, I had a lot of time to deal with, so we decided to move to our alt server, which was Alliance, and the girlfriend's family was played over there, so we decided to go ahead and move over there and just level our alts. And I think we were so close to 100 by the time Illidan calmed down that we just decided, you know what, we'll just stay over there and level it up. And since Warlords, we just haven't switched back, so I still have a level 90 DK. It's either 90 or 100. I might have leveled it in my spare time, but alright, what does this guy want? Gather 8 frost. Oh, so the cubs I was killing, I'm supposed to gather them up. My bad. But no, I actually like the Horde side. You know, I guess after you play for as long as you do or whatnot, you kind of just they're both fun sides for different reasons. Oh, okay, so I was supposed to kill these guys anyways. Just collect those guys over there. But yeah, if I'm one of those people that have that half and half emblem, where it's like half Alliance and then half Horde, just because I've played for so long. That and the Green Jesus Thrall. I kind of got a little tired of that storyline. To be honest, I was kind of hoping the Legion would kill him off, but I think they're going to continue his story quite a bit. And to me, it seems like his story mimics what's his name, Metzen's life a little bit, just because you know, Metzen's been a huge part of it, and he's kind of been a pretty big push for the Horde in general. And then the timing may be off in the level of years, but I know he's kind of retired, and he's raising his young child now, and Thrall's kind of disappeared off the face of the earth, and he's, I think it was in Cataclysm or Warlords toward the end. His wife, girlfriend, whatever it is, it was kind of indicated that she was pregnant or she was going to be pregnant, and Thrall just kind of fell off the map after that. Sick. Avidas TV says that's sick man. Alliance isn't that bad. Alliance zones are fun to level, and Darkshire is one of my favorite zones in the game. Quest lines are creepy. Yeah, back when I first started Warcraft, I had leveled a warrior, which I was terrible at. I was running around in arm spec with a dagger and a shield, and that zone absolutely destroyed me. The Worgen in that area, I think they had invisibility, or I was just really bad, and I couldn't deal with as many of them as there were. But I do remember in that zone I got my first blue BOA drop, and like I said, that's vanilla at the time, and I think I sold that thing for 3 gold. And I was kind of kind of proud of myself. I was like, you know, I had 3 gold at level, I forget what it was, 25 or 28 or something. But it's kind of funny how much the gold has scaled and increased since then. Now, Vetus is saying, I think it was Cat after. Yeah, I think it was too. I want to say I remember the dragons talking and whatnot. Yeah. Yeah, Thrall did kind of end Garrosh pretty nicely. It was kind of equally entertaining just to watch the community react to how the I forget, mock Thrall? Something along those lines, where you know, you have your combative fighting. Now I need 15 bears and 15 owls, so I was gonna hurt ever look, but let's go ahead and just grind those out over here, which is, I think it's the same area. Yeah. So we'll just run back on the road. I kind of want to tame one of these cats, but I don't think I have any pets or mounts to match it. If you're a hunter and you don't have your battle pet, your pet, and your mount matching, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I think we just need to get to that road over there and we should be good to go. I'm kind of surprised there's as many kill a ton of things as there are in this area. Now, let's see. Summons a Winter Spring cub may only be used in Winter Spring. Huh. Now if I run out of this area, summon a cub. Now what? Am I supposed to... no, I don't want to do dailies, I don't think. Bring your cub near snow-covered burrows and 5 times to help it learn how to burrow. Okay, so it's just a normal quest then. So that is bring your cub near a northern Winter Spring. Oh dang, we were just there. Alright, so we'll work our way back over there. I wonder if this is just for the rep. Oh, I also need rune cloth. Okay, I'm not gonna mess with this too much. I feel like that's a lot of because you need rugged leather, you need rune cloth, so let me kill that. So I wanted to abandon that. It's kind of a minimal amount of XP anyway. Just roasted marksman hunters. No, I think it's my OCD kicking in whenever I see my pets or hunters and their stuff not matching. Like I have 2 or 3 hunters, and it drove me insane until I had the little orb to change Haiti to whatever pet you had. I just felt like I was running around with a constant swarm of various pets and animals, so kind of embrace it if you make them all different, but we want to work our way to, yeah, we're going to jump back on the road and go east over here. Avita says, oh, I missed a line. Was it that many Thrall and Garrosh fight in the arena? Wrath of the Lich King mini movie. Was it Wrath of the Lich King? I think it was Warlords of Draenor, where Garrosh got roasted. I think. because in Pandaria he, you know, he got defeated and he went to a different time zone and whatnot, which then ultimately led us to Gul'dan and him doing his thing. It's pretty insane how quickly the storyline has exploded. You know, from you know, when we first started, especially in vanilla, we're just you know, farmers' assistants. You know, go save the farm in Red Ridge, then go save the farm in not Wintergrass, Darkshire, or the human starting zone, whatever that's called. Then you go save the farm in Eastern Western Plaguelands. You know, we're just local heroes, and now we're on the verge of intergalactic space travel. It's just kind of neat to see how the storylines progressed. I don't need to kill those. I need to kill the other ones. Vita says the special raptors are cool, but you said earlier that someone doing the Ironman challenge and equipped a green that basically disqualified him. Yeah, so Nylum, he has a, I think he's from Denmark, maybe, I forget, but it's over in Europe as well. He was doing the challenge as well as a survival hunter, and he accidentally equipped a green helm. And as soon as you equipped any sort of green item or anything above white, which I guess would be green or higher, it's the same as dying pretty much, because it's going to red flag you on the website, and you know, yeah, you didn't die, and maybe you could say at the end of the day you took it off and you didn't kill any mobs with it on. But for me personally, I would just kind of feel like if I made it a 110, it would be like an empty celebration, just because I know that there's always going to be the handful of people that say, well, you didn't really beat the Ironman challenge, because it does say you're red flagged and it does say you equipped something. So now you can equip green, an epic, and you know, whatever level tabards and shirts. I've chosen not to mess with that, just because, you know, I'm kind of taking this tactic to play more conservatively in all aspects, because the Ironman challenge is more based on luck, in my opinion, than skill. You know, it's stay away, as far away from crossing that line as possible is probably the safest tactic, which includes not equipping anything green, to not mounting up and trying to run by a mob. I just need a handful of owls and 4 more bears, so that was a lot of killing. We haven't had to do that in a while, but hopefully the experience is going to be worth it. Tyler, what is the Ironman challenge? Okay, so Tyler, the Ironman challenge is pretty much where you go from 1 to 110 with without dying. You cannot wear any gear or weapons above white quality. So that's no greens, no epics, no nothing. That's no BOAs as well. In addition to that, you can't group up, you can't complete any sort of dungeons or raids, or group up with anyone. You can join a guild, but I've chosen not to. You can't do any XP boosting activities such as potions or recruit a friend. You also cannot use unless you're a warlock, you can use a hellstone. If you're not, you cannot use a hellstone. You cannot use a potion, flask, or elixir as well. I've almost got this memorized, actually. This is the 13th episode I've been doing this, and I almost got it memorized. What else can you not do? Kill 50. Oh, we gotta kill 15 more stuff. Okay. kind of big actually. Oh, I guess when you get to Warlords and Draenor, Warlords of Draenor and Legion, you can't have a bodyguard because that kind of takes the challenge out of it as well. So you take all those rules and you take your lack of gear. Oh, you can't have professions. So you can't mine and do herbalism, and you can't do pet battles because those also generate experience. So you pretty much have to only quest all the way up to 110 using white level gear. Tyler says, how long have you been leveling this tune for doing this? So I am about to hit 55, and let me see, I'll do a slash play here real quick. So I'm at 1 day and 3 hours of playtime, and I haven't even hit 60 yet. So there's some out there that argue that this may be the Legion may make this the easier version of Ironman, but I think that's kind of an opinion. The alright, 55. All right, 3 more levels to 58. And we need to slay another 15 different mobs. Good grief. That is a lot of grinding. Vita says, true, sounds risky, won't be taking that chance either. Thinking about going Brewmaster Monk for the extra survivability. Yeah, so I think a monk is also pretty popular for, and it's kind of my second choice for the Ironman challenge, simply because they have all the runaway options, and if you make it night elf, then you have that as well. But yeah, so there's only 18 people who've made it to 110 so far in this Legion expansion, and I had the numbers broken down. Only 8 of those are hunters. Then you have 2 rogues, 2 monks, 2 druids, and a couple other classes. There's no warriors actually. I haven't seen any warriors make it to 110 yet. But yeah, I think if you're going to go melee, oh, Tyler, thanks for subscribing. Welcome to the fold. Hopefully, I do this every day in the morning, so you know, whenever you're on and available, feel free to stop by. Also, oh, I don't think I've mentioned this, but my previous videos, I make sure that I timestamp them all. That way, people are never going to watch a 3 or 4 hour long video, so I'll go through each one and timestamp the more interesting moments. That way you can kind of see what I've done, where I've been, what happened, how I handled it. And if you want to do the Ironman challenge yourself, then you know, you have at least a rough guide and an outline of that guide through timestamps. Let's see, we need to make it through, we need to kill 15 screechers, and Tyler says, holy crap, you deserve this. Well, thank you, Tyler, I appreciate that. 15 screechers and then 15 molars. So we'll make our way back through here. Yeah, Tyler, yesterday was a little scary just because I had 3 WoW crashes, and I spent most of yesterday afternoon and this morning hoping that I've worked out the bugs. So that's why I'm playing even more conservative than normal, because I don't want to run by a mob and then DC, and then, you know, the whole time I'm out, not DC, have a WoW crash, and then the whole time I'm out and trying to log back in, that mob's beating on me. So I've kind of taken the mindset that pretty much everything I see, I'm going to try to kill it that way. There's no risk, because I think this challenge is more so kind of like your preemptive countermeasures. You don't want to you want to kind of plan ahead your next step rather than kind of go at it in your traditional leveling, especially when, you know, 1 death means it's over. I was hoping the bears were up here, but I guess it's not, so we'll go ahead and clear out the birds up here. So we have, so we started at, I think 6:45 my time, and that's ideally we're going to start at 6, but today I've been kind of revamping my apps and doing a little bit of technical work on my side just to make sure this works out well, because I also had a Windows 10 update to deal with. But yeah, normally we try to take a break at the 8 o'clock time, but since we started late, we're going to see if we can push it. Maybe we'll take a break when I hit 56, and then we'll pick back up and go to however late we can go, which includes how late the people here, how late they sleep. Let's see. Avita says, damn, prop warrior would probably be good, but I already have a 110 warrior, so I don't know. Yeah, I enjoy leveling, so for whatever reason, I have 3 hunters, and then a hunter bank alt, so I don't know why. That doubling up's never really bothered me too much. Tyler says, nice mog. Thank you, sir. Mogs are essential to DPS and success. I think all 24 of my my characters have a transmog. I need to actually do a lot more for my mail and leather workers. I main a DK, so I have a good amount of plate, but I don't have too much as far as leather and mail, so maybe I'll do transmog runs in the future, but I've been having so much fun doing the Ironman that I haven't even stepped foot into a normal Tomb of Sargeras yet. I might try to squeeze that in maybe this weekend, but you know, you can only do so much with... How many more birds do I need? 2. So let's see if they respawn before I run out of the zone here. But yeah, I think there's going to be a let's see, Tyler asks, can you zoom in on the hunter transmog or the DK? I'm assuming hunter just because that's what I'm playing. Avitas is asking, is it frost or unholy? It's frost, and it's a so with frost, hello Escalon. With frost, there's 2 primary specs, and okay, so the hunter, well, since we're kind of in a clearing, we'll do this. There's that, but this is only white gear, so let's see. That's all we have right now. So I kind of just buy it in sets whenever I get into a new area. But it's frost, and there's really 2 main frost specs, and if you're really hardcore, only 1, and that's Breath of Sindragosa build. And to me, it's a little bit more difficult, and it's pretty intense. Last I tried it, I didn't quite have the gear to be able to maintain Breath of Sindragosa for as long as you're supposed to. Alright, well, I'm going to kill bears until the... Oh, there they are. So I just go with the traditional killing machine build. So it's not as competitive, but it's up there. He's 910, and I think I can maintain, I don't know, 700, 800k. But comparatively, if you're talking to someone who's doing Breath of Sindragosa, they're over 1 million. So that's that. Okay, so we have to slay a named mob. Which is that? That's convenient. Alright. So we're going to... Yeah, we'll use Bestial Wrath. We'll go ahead and knock this out. We'll silence that, though. Let's see. Avita says, nice, Frost is pretty cool. I main an Unholy DK. How do you like it? I have a Blood Ausspec, and I've thought about several times going with the Unholy Ausspec just to kind of get a feel for it. But I think the last time I played Unholy was back in... Oh, I need to turn that in. Well, let me kill the bears. I might have to go back there twice. Unholy, when did I last play that? Cataclysm, maybe? And there was such a focus on maintaining your pet. And it was, to me, it was cumbersome. But a lot of people did really well with it. So I'm kind of curious to see where it's at now. Alright, so let's get this guy. We need 11 more bears here. It looks like my bags are getting pretty full, so I might vendor some stuff here shortly. The important thing with the Ironman challenge is kind of not to zone out and go brain dead in these times when you have literally 6 different kill 15 quests, because the continuous grind does kind of, I guess, numb your senses a little bit, and you start getting into a rush. And I've seen a few people die just because it's hard to maintain focus and not push yourself to get everything done and pull 3 or 4 at a time. And so the Ironman is just a, I don't think it's a skill check as much as it is just a kind of a, can you think ahead and kind of anticipate problems that might arise, all the while have a little bit of just enough luck to be able to survive your DCs and your WoW crashes and bad respawns and getting too close to faction camps. We're probably going to have to go in that cave here pretty soon. If I had to bet, if we're following the bird quest outline, there's going to be a named bear we have to kill. Avita's TV says that the Unholy DK spec is just pretty straightforward compared to Wrath of the Lich King. It's a lot easier. I'm doing 80 to 100 million in Battlegrounds with 890. Wow. Damn. I don't think... I did do a little bit of PvP early in Legion just to try to keep up with the prestige, but it's way ahead of me right now. Hopefully I can catch back up in between now and then 7.3, and whenever 8.0 drops I can catch back up with the prestige, because I actually kind of enjoyed climbing the ladder, but I've done it mostly through the world quest and taking over the towers. Oh, rated PvP. See, that's a whole different skill set. And I am outside of where these bears are going to be. So we just need 2 more of these little guys to pop up. I think I haven't been in this far corner over here, so we'll head that way. Randoms are a lot easier to top. Yeah, you know, I enjoy randoms. I wish that I did arenas in PvP, and I wish arenas reflected more of an arena type atmosphere, and maybe what is arenas now, they moved to something else, maybe a just straight up called it a team match. But you know, back in the Roman days and other arenas in history, you didn't really have teams as much as you had either one guy against everything, or better yet, everyone on their own. And you know, maybe you had 1 or 2 partners, but then one or two team members, but then there was like 3 or 4 other sets of team members, and it added an element, not of RNG, but it added an element of PvP, that an arena that just becomes unpredictable. Because right now I feel like the math side of the arenas, it's almost too calculated to be called an arena. You know, if you get class A, B, and C that were successful last season, then that's what everyone wants to go, and you know, you kind of have your set routine. But whenever you add 2 or 3 different teams into an arena, you kind of just throw out all sorts of strategy. It makes it chaotic, which is, in my opinion, what an arena is. It's pure chaos. You try to save yourself and save your partners, but there's no telling if the other 2 teams are going to pick one member, or everybody's just going to have their own target. It just seems like that kind of randomization would make it more fun, in my opinion. Because I do like the chaos aspect of PvP, which is why I enjoy randoms more than the rated. But I haven't been in rated in Legion, so that might be a dated opinion. Yeah, you know, I've never done 5v5. I don't think I have. If I did, it was probably 2 or 3 matches, and that was it. So we're going to turn these in. So I think that food, no, it doesn't give a buff, so that'd be okay. So if you're new to the Ironman challenge, you can't have any sort of food that would give you a buff. Oh, I gotta pick something. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to mount up here and sell all this stuff, just so I don't have to worry about putting anything on. Let's see, that's the same amount. What I'm going to do now is kind of get rid of that. Kind of go through and look for any gray items that might be an upgrade, and it looks like there's not too much, because at this point in time I think I have a level 55 gray, but it requires level 45 to wear it. Item level 55. So if I can get like an upgrade to that, that would be nice, but it doesn't look like there's too much available here. So yeah, let's go ahead and just get rid of everything. So yeah, I'm hoping there weren't too many updates as far as the Ironman challenge go with other streamers today. I think with Tuesday dropping new stuff, a lot of them are probably on their mains and trying to get into the new wing of Tomb of Sargeras. So that'll probably change tomorrow. I'll probably have an update for you as far as Nylum and Exploding Ember. I keep wanting to say Burning Ember. Tyler says, if you get in trouble, can't you just shadow meld? Yes. So that's the other strategy to this, is to, for me, this is my first attempt, so I definitely wanted to pick the Night Elves. Jesus, I wanted to pick the Night Elves just for the shadow meld ability. It's not a catch-all, and it's failed me before, but it does give me a an extra wild card, and you know, in addition to feign death. So we're going to mount back up. But yeah, I mean, that's just the strategy, is to stack the odds in your favor, and then you know, keep going from there. Now if I do this, I'd say twice. If I can do this successfully twice with a Night Elf, I would have a little bit of confidence in attempting it maybe with a Gnome or a Draenei. Either one of those would be fun, and a Draenei Warrior would be pretty neat. But yeah, for now, I in my opinion, if you're starting it out, a Night Elf is going to be your best bet. Now I can go back on the website and take a look and see how many of these players are Night Elves. I know obviously the Warlock wasn't, but believe it or not, a Mage it has made it to 110 in my opinion. That had to be incredibly difficult, so I'm curious. It's too bad I can't look at some of his videos and see what he's done, but that's absolutely insane. A Mage was able to do it. Avita says, but you're right, it's all comps now, which I don't really like. It doesn't give everyone a chance to play the class they want and kind of force it to a role. Yeah, exactly. I think, you know, the more random you make something, and I'm not talking about loot, I'm talking about gameplay. The more random you make something, the more of an opening you create for people to specialize, you know. So if, say for a warrior, if Bladestorm's really weak on one target and or two targets, it's not really viable until you get 3 or 4. No warrior's going to pick Bladestorm. But if you're not, you know, if you're not focused on, say, one type of game style and Bladestorm's just not suitable, then if you enjoy Bladestorm and you want to go with a more spread all and AoE attack, then that gives you the capability to kind of choose more of the playstyle that you like, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, I was trying to figure out where I need to go next, so sorry. Vita says, the self-healing ratio is nice. Yeah, Draw Knight would be my second choice if there were no Night Elves. Tyler also says Draw Knight 1, yep. So if I did a mage, I would definitely do Shadow Meld or Night Elf for the Shadow Meld. But yeah, second choice would have been Draw Knight as well. So that's the Hunter. In my opinion, the Hunter seems to be the most commonly attempted class, just because the perception of it being easier, which may actually be an accurate perception, just because of the utility and the damage it does as compared to some course classes. But you know, you still have your set of disadvantages that are unique to a hunter. So it just it's all in your playstyle, you know. Let's go ahead and turn this in. Hopefully we get a hub of quests. Obtain 5 mana, 8 old brains from Altered Beasts, and that's it. Okay. So we've already gone north in Winter Spring. I don't know if Winter Spring is going to get us to 58. So we might actually really have to just debate whether or not Silithus is a viable option. So we need 5 brains. Now I just want to see if the mob is here. This guy's got 3,500 health. Let's see how he does. Okay, so he's manageable. Let's go ahead and head further into the cave then. Or is it the cave? Is it around the cave that we need to be going? Maybe I should read the quest, huh? Oh, nope, there we go. So, didn't drop a brain. Oh, I need to turn off my world group finder. That's... let me go ahead and do that now. So we're going to go into add-ons. Just Qyune here. And we're going to take off the world tracking quest. We don't need that either. Alright, that'll work. So we'll reload that. And then close that, stop it from blinking, close that. Alright. obtain 5 mana brains. So I was assuming we just kill them and get the brain, but just making sure there's not some sort of quest item I'm supposed to be using. Alright, maybe not. There we go, yep. So it's just not 100% drop rate. Maybe 30% at the moment. Or less than that, considering some don't drop anything. So maybe in the future, I don't know if I'm going to come back to Winter Spring. I might try Ungoro Crater, because man, the quests have been a little bit more grindy out here than in previous zones. So we'll just work our way around the top of this cave here. I think what I'm gonna do is scout out Fairless, because there's a horde camp that can that has high level NPCs, faction NPCs. So I'm gonna have to get through that zone to get to Silithus. So I'm gonna need to scout that out first, but scouting it out may actually have a significant advantage in the future, just because I might stay on that continent from say 45 to 60, because you can go straight from Tarneras to Ungoro Crater to Silithus, and that might be the most beneficial, or at least worrisome option. Let's see. Avitas TV says, wonder if anyone would try this on a PvP server. I would say if they did, they would have to do it on off times. They would definitely not want to stream it, because you could maybe record it and then post it, you know, maybe in a I would say almost a week or 2 week delay. But man, that would be extremely tough. Yeah, the Ultra Ironman challenge, no kidding. Huh. I feel like that's for a later quest. We'll let that go. Alright, so we got our 5. We'll keep an eye out for that guy, and then we'll go turn it in over here real quick. I have a feeling we're going to go in yet another cave, which I'm not a fan of going in caves or buildings or ships, just because those enclosures, this is where, you know, you kind of have to weigh your play style with the class advantages and disadvantages. I think Ty was asking about that. Sorry, I stuck my hand right in the camera again. Because the hunter, you kind of need your wider area, and a lot of the, especially ships, have those mobs around the corner, or you know, you almost have to run in to the mob to pull them. And caves are kind of similar, and it was near a cave yesterday that WoW was crashing. So alright, let's read this first. Obtain an owl beast dreamcatcher from Dun Mandar. Let's see, what a shame. Whatever Moonbrains has done, he has prevented me from undoing his magic. He is wiser than I anticipated. I do have a backup plan, however. Okay. Just Sam growling. I thought something hit me. Let's see. Travel south to Dunmadar. You find a chest with a dreamcatcher in it. Alright, that is not in a cave. That's done. Okay, good. Alright. No cave. We're alright. Almost maybe 2 hours into the stream, and my eyes have been doing a lot better today than they did the previous few episodes, just because I'm trying to remember to blink as much as you can, just because I'm so focused on not dying that I guess I'm wide-eyed the entire time, so they're drying out. So we're going to run up here real quick, grab this dream catcher. So it's not a faction camp, so we'll just go in and bust our way through. Keep a heal on Sam. And then, let's see, where's that dream catcher? So, does this guy have mana? Ooh, what's this? Alright, so we don't want to jump back, and then that guy is kiting that mob right to me. Look at that jerk. Okay, so that went back. Is that Dreamcatcher in the cave? I think it is. So these guys do have mana, and as soon as I pull one, it's going to aggro. So we're going to heal Sam and send him in so that both mobs look at him. There we go. Shut that down. Oh, I got it. Why? Get back. That moonbeam hurts. So since we've done that and we started clearing stuff out, we're gonna speed up the pace. That way we can get in that cave and... Oh, we don't need to. It's right there. Okay, never mind. Is that a rare? No. So we'll just open this. Heal Sam up. Dreamcatcher. Alright, obtain the essence of the Owl Claw totem, the essence of life totem, and some other totem. So where do we need to go? Go across the way over here. So there's a couple rock guys, but I don't think, no, they're not elite. So we'll jump on the path and pretty much go straight across. We do have a random quest here. So we need to slay 12 owl beasts, and alright, so that's all going to work out together pretty well. Avitas is asking, how long am I going to stream for today? Part of me kind of wanted to make up for not streaming more than an hour. Or I streamed an hour yesterday because of the 3 crashes, but I kind of want to make up for lost time and at least get to level 58. Normally we end the stream around 9ish, but I might push it past 9. And how far past 9, I'm not entirely sure, but we'll I'd like to, like I said, at least get to 58. But it kind of balances on what time people here start waking up and whatnot. So short answer is I want to go as long as I can before calling it for today. And I'm really surprised. I thought the Winter Spring had a lot more experience and our quicker experience like Fellwood. So not all zones are equal. I also need to figure out if it looks like I'm not going to make it out of here at 58. So I need to actually consider whether or not I should go to Silithus and how to get there efficiently, because I have a flight path that would take me to Desolus, and then I would need to run to Fairless and make it around that horde cap. I don't know what's in Thousand Needles, because I don't think there's a boat that goes to Tarnaris. If there is, I don't know about it. Let's see, if you go to Ngor Crater, be careful with all those elite Devilsaurs. Ah, yeah. That's... Did I miss that? I thought I saw something clickable in here. Alright, maybe not. Yeah, no, the Devilsaurs are definitely a concern, just like the Fell Reaver is going to be a huge concern when I'm in Hellfire Peninsula. Alright, Sam is getting rocked by these guys, so I'm going to give him a chance to heal. Oh, I see. There's a cave, then nothing in the cave, so I think I saw this one. Give Sam a quick heal here. Alright. So last time we had 2 owl beasts. They were hitting him pretty hard, so I'm going to let him get up to full health at least. Check behind me. And then send him in. So we'll go ahead and use Bestial Wrath for this. And close that down pretty quick. And slow him down. Give him a heal. And that should be it for that. Essence of the Claw Totem. So that would be 1 of 3. And then only 2 more Moonkin. Owlbeast, I mean. Avita says, Thousand Needles is just water, but when you try to cross over to the other zone, there's a Twilight mobs and elementals, not sure what level. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do have the Azure Water Strider mount, so that would just be running for me. And I did double check that with the website. Apparently any sort of mount is okay in the challenge now, so I've noticed a lot of people using the BOA mount. I think it has a lot to do with not really being able to confirm. Silent, slow you down. Not really being able to check behind people and see if they used a mount that gave them an advantage over others, but per the rules you can use any mount you want. So I might break out the Water Strider at that point in time. So open this up, and then makes 2 of 3, and then we got 1 more over here. We're done with the Owl Beast, so we'll just... Why did that not go away? Essence of the Moon Totem. Are there 2 in here? Huh. I feel like maybe there's a maybe the little circle is off. It might be in this cave over here. That's weird. Huh. Well, that's really odd. Oh, unless there's caves up there. Okay, so the chart probably just circles around above it. Never got the Azure Water Strider, but it's a cool mount. As a DK, you should. Yeah, as a DK, all mounts are water walking mounts. I think I got that one from the fishing in Warlords Draenor. There, I had a lot of time to. I didn't raid much in Warlords, so I had a lot of time to do other stuff. And fishing was one of them. So I went ahead and got, I think it was Nat Pagel was the one who you get Exalted Rep with, and then you can buy it, and you're good to go. I know there's another type of one for Legion, but I don't think I've gotten it yet. In fact, I haven't even gotten my legendary fishing pole. which I think it gives you buffs just being in your bag. You don't really have to equip it, so I should do it, but as opposed to Warlords, Legion just has so much content, and then I'm doing the Ironman challenge that kind of have to prioritize stuff, and then you have that whole transmog. Oh, speaking of that, there's the transmog holiday that's coming up. I want to say in October, maybe September. Okay, so there's the there's only 2. Okay, well, go ahead and use all of our cooldowns on this, because they haven't been dying as fast as I would like, so slow you down. Let Sam finish him off, and easy. Avita says, "Ah, nice. Did you make a lot of gold off fishing?" You know, I don't know if I did or not. I was in Warlord, so... No, I'm sorry. I got my Water Strider in Pandaria. That was Nat Pagel. In Warlords, my gold came... A huge percentage of my gold came from just garrison stuff. Alright, we need 7 Winter Waters. We want to go this way. You know what? Let me turn in that quest here, because there's a good chance that he's going to send me to the same area. But in Warlords, I pretty much stayed in my garrison. I had 6 or 7 ults, and there were many days where I just logged on, did the garrison chores, sent them out on their missions, and then logged off. And the amounts of gold I was getting then was pretty insane. In fact, it did give me the chance to buy the spider mount when it came out. So yeah, I mean, we're talking that much gold from the garrisons. Like, okay. The yeah, Vita says, man, that felt like a mobile game to me, to be honest. You know, I think Blizzard tries to do that, and it didn't. I think they ran out of time, and a lot of the ideas that they had were just partially implemented, and that was one of them. Where, you know, in Mists of Pandaria, they opened up the pet battling, and for a lot of people, that's really addicting, and it was fun, and it pulled me in for a couple months. And you know, it pulls in the players who kind of enjoy that Pokemon-like style of playing. And then, you know, they have now transmog, and you know, some players just go through and do nothing but transmog, and that's what they consider fun. And I think they wanted to kind of mimic the style of gameplay for Facebook game players, people who played Facebook and enjoyed that style of gaming, which I can't blame them, but I think where they went wrong is they made that style of gameplay almost a necessary requirement for your average raider. You know, if you weren't at least getting 1 piece of gear per week from your garrison, you know, you were putting your team at a disadvantage, and I think a lot of people didn't like that. And the fact that it was incorporated and necessary to progress in your leveling and have any sort of I guess relevance, and I forget all the advantages you had of a garrison at the time, but it was just so overused that at the end of the day your followers were having more adventures than you were. I want to say we need to go maybe across the road here. But for me, the garrison was I don't really play Facebook games, to be honest, but I did enjoy the garrisons just because I do enjoy farming gold and kind of increasing my in-game currency as much as possible. So that was fun for me in that sense, but you know, in the traditional sense of Warcraft gameplay, no, I can completely relate why people wouldn't enjoy that. Vita says, yes, WoD was missing a lot. I saw a video the other day. Do you know that they had planned for a legendary Gorehowl? No, I didn't actually. I heard that weapon, the name of that weapon a couple times, but I didn't know they had any plans for it. I just know that people lost their minds when they had their debacle with the, oh, I should have completed 2 quests there. With the flying. Alright, 56. 4 more levels. Well, 2 more. 2 more to 58, and then we can consider the outland. But yeah, I think the quote-unquote promised content, and then kind of tying that into people purchasing the game. I know that kind of being careful how I say this because it's a pretty polarizing topic, but I think a lot of people just had a huge issue with the lack of response and overall just, you know, you're going to get this and then you didn't get this, and one of those things were the capital cities, and then when you tacked on the debacle of the flying issue, I think people were just absolutely fed up with not what were they? I would say they were fed up with just the lack of response and the uncertainty and the going back and forth and whatnot at that time. So I think one thing that they have done much better this time around is that they've been much quicker to address the community when stuff pops up, and then they've done Ian Hazakosis, I think that's his last name. He's done interviews, and several other people have done interviews, so it seems like they've definitely taken a stride forward in interacting with the community and at least being straightforward when they're giving their answers and being able to say I don't know, which I think takes a certain amount of courage to be able to just be honest and say, hey, I don't know. Maybe next time we talk I'll be able to give you an answer, but as of now I have no answer. And I think there is an element of genuine appreciation people have for just being honest. Most people. There's definitely some that simply, what do you want to call it? Maybe single issue focused. So I think we need to go all the way to the back here and then kill one guy at the end. So try to do this at a semi-quick rate here. Oh, and our drops are not 100%. That sucks. That's too bad we can't mine. I think it's been a little while since I've done, or since I've gathered arcane crystals. I wonder if those still go for a significant amount on the auction house. I know you need them for your Thunder Fury. At least we got a good movie off it. Yeah, excuse me. I did enjoy that movie actually. I know a lot of people didn't, and everyone has various reasons why, but I thought it was pretty good. If they made another, I would definitely watch it. In fact, I want to say that's one of the few movies I've seen twice while I was in theaters. They made Gul'dan a beast though. I was kind of expecting a semi-withered and deformed orc, but whenever he threw off his robe and started kicking ass. He's a pretty large character. You know, and one other thing, I don't know. Some of the sources that were quoting numbers and whatnot, I believe more than others, and some were saying that they broke even or they made a minimal loss, but I know they made a huge gain in China. But I think what also bit them, ooh, I need to finish off this kill, was the pre-movie, the marketing. Like the posters and a lot of the stuff was just simply out of touch for the people that enjoyed Warcraft, as well as just general moviegoers. I felt like if I had walked into a movie theater watching another movie and I didn't know anything about Warcraft and I saw the poster, I would have forgotten the name of the movie before I left the theater. I think next time they do have some sort of maybe a second movie that they need to maybe be a little bit more straightforward with their advertising. Too slow. Slowly hitting the gem. Yep. Yeah. There was a couple, and you know, it's been a while since the movie came out, but you know, just the artistic designs and some of the movie quotes were, not to use a overused phrase, but they were kind of cringeworthy, and some of them only Warcraft players would have gotten. So you know, there's a lot of people who've played Warcraft, but you know, you can't market to 10 or 15 million people and expect to top the charts, or you know, make any sort of impact on a global scale or national scale, I guess. Especially when you're competing with other movies in the theater who at least have a poster that reflect what the movie's about. There's a ton of mobs, but I guess that's a good thing, considering I only have 7 of the, or 5, now 6 of the 7 necessary winter waters. Avita says, I can see that maybe something like Star Wars posters. Not sure if you're familiar with the movie posters. I'm actually behind on Star Wars. I haven't seen, I saw the first one that was done by Disney. I haven't seen the second, and I think the third one's coming out, right? Or did the third one come out too, and I missed that as well? Oh, that's a big guy. Is he elite? He's got 4,800 health, so I should be alright. Alright, well, that almost worked out perfect. We got 7 right before we got this guy. So I want to go ahead and blow all my cooldowns and give Sam a heal. And go. Use all the dire beasts. We'll silence that cast now. And done. Alright, so got that item, and we'll go ahead and run it back to the quest giver here. Oh, it comes out in December. Okay. Yeah, I need to watch the second one. I might do that maybe in September or November, so I can kind of catch back up and understand all the smaller characters. Okay, we're getting respawn, so we're going to smash into him real quick. That way the guy that respawns next isn't on top of us. But yeah, the other thing I'm super excited for is, I think in, what is it, 4 days, Game of Thrones comes out. So I need to figure out a way to get HBO for however long I need it without having to get 30 other channels. I want to say you could get just HBO from the website, but I don't know if that's the case anymore. I don't know if they're in some sort of contract with cable companies. The second one was alright, not my favorite, but I don't hate it. Hulu? Oh, Hulu is where they have Game of Thrones? I actually, I know a lot of people had their reservations about the first one that Disney was going to make, but on the other hand, I think everybody was kind of glad Lucas let it go. But either way, I thought it was pretty good. I really liked the first one. The second one, like I said, I'm probably going to wait till maybe September, November, and then I'll go see the third one in theaters. I think you can add a sub with Hulu. Okay. Yeah, I might look into that, because I know a few people that have Netflix, but I don't think... alright, we are knocked out the core of Winter Spring Quest, and we are not even halfway through 56, so yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do Silithus or Blasted Lands. That was not what I was hoping for. Maybe I'll run through Fairless. Because like I said, if the phasing in the Blasted Lands is off and one of those level 90s comes out, it's gonna be a quick trip. So we'll run up this side of the mountain, I think, is where the other quest is. Vita says, well, Rogue One doesn't continue where 7 left off. The coming one out in December continues where 7... Oh, wow. Okay. I did not know that. Now, does Rogue One have to do with kind of the storyline behind Boba Fett? Or his son? Alright, the Arcane Storm within. We need to use the Empower Dreamcatcher to close 5 Arcane Tesseracts within Mass Thrill, and then slay someone inside. Okay. So it looks like we're going to be following behind a Night Elf Druid. So we'll go ahead and... Can we click on these? No, we just need to get close enough to shut them down. So... We have one mob with 2400 and the other with 2400. So we're going to be fighting 2 mobs. And this one has 3? Ooh, wow. Okay. Alright, well, we'll see if we can manage this. If it's too much, then maybe we'll just skip this and head to Silithus, since it looks like we got to go that way anyway. Vita says it's between episodes 3 and 4. Okay. So let's go ahead and use... Let's not use Beastmaster and see if we can just handle... one at a time. And then we'll move to the next one. Alright, so each of those little shots will hit me for about 13%. Are we supposed to kill this guy? No, but he's over there. Alright, so how much health does he have? Alright, so we'll use Beastmaster for these three. And we'll use all of our cooldowns. We'll switch to the next target here, we'll slow that one down. And alright, so that's not so bad. That wasn't too bad. Looks kind of intimidating. Yeah, it did. Kind of. I can't stress enough how much I hate being in these caves. Just because the respawn rates are always faster, and then as a range to a certain extent, you're always dealing with stuff around the corner. But at least we have our Hearthstone up, so if we get too far in and then respawns start happening, well, oh, there's 4 there. Wow, okay. So these guys got 2300, so I'm not going to use, I'm going to save Bestial Wrath for the next pull. So let's go ahead and hit that guy. Silence him. And then we'll heal Sam up here. So that's going to be 4. I think I'm going to skip that. That's like, how much health do these guys have? Oh, 27. So if I hit them, I'm going to have to hit them all. Alright, so I'm just going to send Sam in there. We'll see what happens. We are going to use Bestial Wrath here. Alright, slow him down. We'll just take some hits here. Okay, that wasn't so bad. Little nerve-wracking, but not bad. Alright, so it looks like the main guy we have to kill is at the end of the tunnel, so we'll just work our way through. And we'll slow him down. Switch back to the other guy. Keep Sam up. Watch your back. And keep pushing. These guys have 1700. Let's go ahead and send Sam in now. Give him Bestial Wrath. And give him some support here. Let's silence or slow that guy. Man. So I'm going to just let my health regenerate on its own, just in case I need to pop Exhilaration. If while I'm pulling we don't get pop respawns where they just randomly pop up. Let's see. You have to. Yeah, I haven't had to use Disengage yet, fortunately. And if I'm not going to be able to use it for this pull, simply because the terrain slopes up. These guys have 1800. So what we need to do though is not sit here and strategize too long for each pull, because we're going to be looking at respawns that occur. And I'm going to slow you down. Now we'll disengage. Heal Sam back up. So yeah, that's the other thing, is respawns in caves, ships, buildings, they typically tend to be a little bit quicker, and even quicker when you're looting them, so I don't know why I'm doing that. And then we have these guys again. I wonder if we can just not deal with them. I feel like that's a cardinal mistake, but Arcane Mana Cluster. This guy has that much, so we're going to run this way. Use Beast, Steel Wrath. He's probably going to do some sort of explosion, so we'll silence that. Alright. That works for me. Well, he'll Sam up. My health's at 92%. Looks pretty open in here. Almost too open, like someone's been here before. He looks like he's moving around, so let's see. Teleport back to... Okay, so after we're done, we'll teleport back. What is this? Doesn't matter. Kind of waiting for Bestial Wrath to come off cooldown. I'm at 100%, so 20 seconds maybe? We should be alright. We'll just do it. We got this. Silence that. Yeah, we're fine. So we'll grab them just in case it was a quest item. We cannot use that potion. Avia CV says, I'm gonna head out, man. Gotta do some errands. Good chatting with you. Yeah, good talking with you too. Take care. Be safe out there, and I'll talk to you maybe tomorrow or the next day. And have a good one as well. Alright, so we're going to... I don't know why we're killing this guy. But I guess we're in that mode. Oozing back, so let's see, let's use this ring to get back. So it looks like we're gonna head to Silithus, and that sounds like it's a lot of riding around. So yeah, so I don't see any sort of follow-up quest for here. Blasted Lands would be much easier to get to, but I just am really nervous about the level 90s that could potentially create a problem. So let's go ahead and vendor stuff while we're here. So that. There's not too much. We didn't get too much as far as great gear today. We'll go ahead and let's repair and open these up real quick. Alright, now we gotta sell, because I do not want to accidentally click on that. Alright, so let's go ahead and head back to Winter Spring. Man, we didn't get any prompt to go in this direction at all. Let's take a look at the map. Is there another 55 to 60 zone we could take a look at maybe? Something that's quick to get to. So we're in Winter Spring, of course. We're at halfway through 56. Silithus goes to 60. Huh. The other option would be to run down to Kalimdor. Old McDonald. What about the Blasted Lands? Nope. Alright, so yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. We will hearth to Everlook, and then head over to where's it? Where do we need to go? I think that's Darnassus. I'm gonna have to take another look. How far can we fly south? I guess we'll find out here in a second. Let's see, flight path should be right here. Now, while we kind of depict our map here. Yep. Alright, so we're only going to be able to go to Desolus. And then we're going to need to work our way. It's too bad there's no way directly from Desolus to Silithus, which wouldn't make sense lore-wise, but would have been kind of nice. So I guess we'll do that. We'll go to Desolus, and while we're heading in that direction, we'll take a small break. That way I can get up and move around real quick, and we'll go from there. I'll see you guys here in a second. Flying now. Alright, so good morning and welcome back to the stream. Here we're going to pick back off where we left off. We are level 56 and making our way toward the southern end of Desolace with the intent of crossing through Feralus, Thousand Needles, Tarnaris, Ungoro, and then all the way to Silithus. That way we can finish out to level 58 or 60, kind of depending on which one, how we feel about the quest series versus the risk of completing the quest. So, with that being said, we should be landing here pretty soon. Sorry. Let me see. There's not too much to talk about while you're flying, except admire the landscape a little bit. But that was quick. All right, so I mount up and head straight toward Feralus. If I knew I was going to come back to this zone, I don't think I would have gone back over to the Eastern Kingdoms for that short amount of time. However, this is our first time through, so these mistakes are bound to happen. We'll just go with it and just be very wary of horde camps. Because even though it is a PvP server, those can end your fun really quick. So let's see. With that being said, we are now entering into Feralus, and in doing so, I guess I'll go ahead and try to pick up the what do you call this? Fight pass. All right. So I don't think we have too much to worry about for mobs, since they're nearly 20 levels below us. The main concern will be alright, so that's a horde camp, so we won't nowhere near that. And then what else? I guess that's about it. At this point it's just kind of once again enjoying the view, which I think they've done a really nice job with the landscape and how the land changed from it's changed over the years. Some of the zones, I think Feralus had a couple changes. I think the island over here, yeah, it's sunk. So if I think it's like slightly underwater, so you can kind of run across it while it's underwater, but for the most part, I think Feralus has remained unchanged. So yeah, I'm going to try to just follow the path and keep my map down. That way I'm not completely blocking out 40% of my screen. Yeah, hopefully one day, maybe even the next expansion, they can go back and alter the zone leveling so that it scales with you. So I think where's our first stop going to be? Feathermoon. So we're going to head to Feathermoon, and I want to say we'll just kind of stay in the southern portion of the zone as we make our way across. That seems to be possibly the best tactic for not running into anything that's faction heavy. So we'll grab this fight path and then we'll jump right back on the road. Which I want to say is it up there in that building? I think it is. Yeah, it's right over here. And boom. So we're going to move to the next spot, which will be Tower of Estulan. Right, Estulan. I hit the Tower of Estulan, and then I think we're going to stay as far south as we can. That way we avoid that camp, like I said. And so once we get to Estulan, we'll pick up the fight path and then follow this pattern here. That way that'll lead us to Thousand Needles, and then we can make our way to Tarnaris. All the while trying our best not to get one shot by a faction NPC. So let me see here. And then we can continue our leveling experience in Silithus. Now, some of you are going to be watching this post stream, and I'm repeating myself quite a bit, just because occasionally new streamers come in, and I kind of want to cover what I'm doing and what I'm going over, rather than them just kind of sitting there being unsure of what's going on. Let me see something. Report to Windcaller Groundhog at Cenarian holding Silithus. Yeah, there's no real shortcut to getting over there. That's too bad. 'Cause I think we could run along the shoreline here, but I don't think there's any capability of coming up from the sea. That might be something. But yeah, I think we're just gonna have to plow through this. I tried. I'm trying to cut corners. Mobs are 37, so there's no real need to engage them too much. But I do want to make sure I'm not going too far out of the range here. So we're going to run along this. We should be able to get up that wall through there. Yep. Or not. So there's water up there. Can we climb the mountain? So we might be able to climb. Maybe that's a path over there. That might lead us over the mountain a little bit so that we can... Yeah, perfect. So we're going up and we're going to knock that out. Looks like people are waking up at my place, so this might be coming to an end sooner than I thought. But let's see, let's just cut through here. And jump back on the pathway here. And that should lead us back down the other side. Alright, so try not to take too much fall damage. So the horde camp, I think, is here. So what we'll do is we'll just take straight across, going due east. So this is our first preview of Silithus, it looks like. It's too bad there's not a cave here that could take us across, but that would be asking for a little much. These are 38, so we ought to be alright. Looks like we're going to be running across the plateau to a certain extent, so maybe we won't have to drop off on the other side, I'm hoping. Normally I wouldn't run through mobs on the Ironman challenge, but since it is nearly 20 levels below, Qyune here, we don't have to worry about it too much. So we'll take a look at this guy, see what he has to offer. Not much, so maybe we will. I wonder if we can see the Horde camp from here. So this is where I'm going to kind of hug the wall a little tight. And these are still low. Take a quick look. I wonder if I can run all the way around. Okay, yeah. So I'm just going to jump down and kill these guys because I don't want to. I might not have to. Okay. So come down here. The music's changed, so I don't think it's a Horde theme. It's your typical night elf music. So I'm not near the camp, I don't believe. This does look like a pathway. So the Horde camp's over there, across the way. This is a friendly NPC. It's a what is it? It's a goblin though. So man, this makes me nervous. So it's going to lead us to the road, but I think it's going to lead us to the road way too early to consider it safe. So we're going to stay along the wall. 36, 40, 36. So that's. I'm also looking when I'm clicking on these things. I'm also looking to see if there's a faction tag to them, because there's a that might be an indication that I'm coming up on an outpost that I'm not familiar with. And I do know as we get to the border of Fairless and Thousand Needles, there's a little bit of PvP content. Maybe not PvP, but it's more Horde versus Alliance stuff. So just need to be wary of that. But it does look like a quest hub. Albeit low level. So let's go ahead and switch mounts here. So there's a running defense here. Yeah, I definitely definitely should have stayed over on this side if it was that easy, but at the time I was just nervous that I would run across into a faction camp. So that being said, it's going to be a long ass run. Hopefully I'm not going to encounter too much. I don't even think I want to mess with the fight path here. I'm just going to try to get to Tarnaris as quick as possible. So I'm going to keep my map minimized, that way I can kind of focus on if I'm coming up on a high level NPC for some reason, or faction guards. So it'd be nice relaxing view of Thousand Needles, flooded thanks to the cataclysm. I do remember farming I think it was iron and tin here, so that was a pretty decent source for that. And that is an airplane in the background, if you can hear it. Yeah, I'm going for caffeine at the moment. Caffeine and I get sugar, I guess. So I don't know if... I think that shoots you up in the air, so... That's level 43. Should I go up there? Nah, stay down here. I think I'm going to encounter probably less down here than I would up there anyway. I'm just kind of keeping a close eye out, because usually when it's a path is this easy, there's just like something out of the normal waiting on you. But it doesn't seem to be the case out here. I kind of wonder if the old caves that were here when this place was not flooded, if they're still here, if you can explore them for whatever reason, now that they're full of water. I think let's avoid that water little spout thing. We're going to go this way. So this is a little, unfortunately, it's a little unplanned and a lot slow leveling, but nothing's perfect. Just trying to, maybe one day I will I'll go over to the Blasted Lands on a low level character and see how that actually results in my character crossing whatever the phasing areas are, and if I ever have a high risk of encountering level 90s, because that's really the only reason I'm not going over there. I think every other indication would say that's the easier place to level as well as get to, since all you'd have to do is go to Stormwind. Yeah, that's level 41. I'm not even going to go over there. Just stay to the edge here. And then we're going to go right in between that gap over there. Let's see. I may switch the music from Warcraft. I kind of wanted to keep the Warcraft music going, but the problem that I'm having is that depending on the song or the zone that a song is playing in, you can have a period of pretty high silence, pretty long periods of silence, should I say. So maybe I'll find something that's free and easy to listen to in the background and doesn't impose on any copyright laws. That being said, we're in Tarnares, just about. At this point in time, all we need to do is cross Tarnares and then dip down into Ungoro, and from there we'll while we're in Ungoro though, we need to watch out for the large dinosaurs. I think they are still elite, and that's something Avitas had warned us about earlier. So we'll take that to heart and grab this flight path real quick. I wonder if I'm coming across the Horde one, or is the Horde one on the other side? Oh, it's inside. Okay. Why is he... That's 50... Yeah, it's safe. Yeah, if you get in combat here, the bruisers come out. And that'll end your trip real quick. Alright, so I'm not flagged for PvP, I don't think. Alright, we're safe. Let me get back on the cat here. And then we're going to go a little southwest. And that should be where the opening to Ungoro crater is. So maybe by the time we get there, it'll be closing in on about 9:45, 9:50 server time. Maybe 9:45. Shouldn't take us 15 minutes, but I don't know. I think we'll just keep pushing. I don't see any reason to stop. Everyone's here starting to wake up, but I don't know if they're what their plans are. So if they need a computer, or if it gets too noisy in the background, we'll just call it for today, since we're hitting close to that 3-minute mark. But up until then, we'll just get as far as we can. So there's something under the ground there. Another preview of Silithus. These guys are 47, so yeah, we can probably run through there. I don't think we'll aggro too much. That's still 10 levels below us. If we do aggro something, we'll just kill it and mount back up. But we've gone nearly pushing 3 hours and no crash, no add-on errors. I used to have Swatter that would just kind of dismiss and hide any errors, most errors that popped up, but I did away with that just so I can know if something's starting to give, if an add-on is starting to give Warcraft or my computer a hard time. At least I can identify it and then pull it out the add-on list and test it from there. Excuse me. So this should be pretty close here. And we are here. Nice. So, how should we handle Ungoro? Part of me says cut straight across and cut the BS, but the other part of me is kind of like, yeah, let's not get too crazy. I think the density of mobs and including dinosaurs and insects and everything else is pretty high, so maybe we will stay along the wall. I don't remember too much as far as factions go here. I think everything's somewhat neutral, so let's just do that. Oh no, get away from that. So we'll try to stay along the wall. The more important thing is we just kind of keep maintaining. The Haggerty, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Make sure we keep going east, I think. Yeah, so we're going to carefully work our way across here without aggroing too much. Ungoro is still below us, but not by much. So we'll just still kind of cautiously work our way across. I guess we're not going to go around the perimeter, it seems. We're going straight through the middle, guys. Oh, okay. Yeah, let's not train a bunch of mobs. He hit me for about 7%, so yeah, let's just play this smart. And I think once he's down, oh no, there's one more. Oh yeah, we gotta watch out for big raptors, that's right. So we're gonna keep our head on a swivel here. Not big raptors, T-Rexes. These are big raptors. Alright, we're gonna heal Sam up, look around, there's another one, so let's just mount up and go. So anytime there's like a giant mob that kind of patrols around, that's going to be a very eye wide open kind of moment, which I think my eyes are going to dry completely out when I get to the Hellfire Peninsula. Haggerty asks, going all the way to 110 if possible? Yes, sir. Hopefully, this is my first character doing this, so I'm hoping that we can get to 110. It's gone pretty smooth so far. I've had a couple close calls, and oh, there we go. That's what we need to watch out for. I've had a couple close calls in the Eastern Plague Lands, but we were able to make it through pretty easily. And I was going to go to the Blasted Lands, but I've kind of opted to do Silithus instead. And I'm going to keep an eye on this guy as I work my way east. Or not. Let's go over here. Alright, didn't expect that. So we're gonna... Is the exit on the other side of the river? Not sure. We'll just jump across anyway. But yeah, short answer is, yep, going for 110. Hopefully we can do it, and then we'll start a new character and do it all again. This is actually a lot of fun, believe it or not. It's mildly stressful, just because, you know, one death and it's all over, but it's a lot of fun. Watch out for that guy. So one of the reasons I didn't go to the Blasted Lands is I don't know how the phasing over there works, so I'm worried about getting one shot by 90. And I apologize if you've been listening to me ramble and I'm repeating myself now, but I kind of tend to repeat myself live just because so many people come and go, and it's just kind of want to update everyone at the same time. But while we're talking about that, let's see, we need to, I think the exit is, oh, it's right there. There's a pathway, I think. Yep, here it is. Okay, perfect. Or not. Let's watch out for that. Yeah, this might have been a difficult zone to level in. There's more than 2 or 3 of those big guys, so. Alright, since that's aggroed, oh, look what I did. Since that's aggro, we're gonna kill stuff because I think it's better to play it safe than try to run through a bunch of mobs. PvP server or PvE? Definitely PvE. I don't know if you could get away with streaming live and do it on a PvP server without someone coming and wrecking your day, especially the higher you did it as a level, or the higher you got as a level. Yeah. No, definitely PvE. But one of the reasons I've been taking kind of a, I guess, what do you want to call it, the adventurer's route or the scenic tour, is just to avoid as many faction camps as possible. Because even though it's PvE, you can still run up on a horde or alliance camp with a level 90 guard that'll end the run really quick. Alright, so we made it to Silithus. Finally. That was, I did predict that right. It's about 9:45, so I'm going to kind of keep my eye open for anything abnormal. I thought there was quests coming into the zone, but maybe I was wrong. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the Blasted Lands quest, because we won't be going there. So the plan is to level here maybe to 58, between 58 and 60, and then head to Hellfire, of course. The reason I'm debating whether or not to do it at 58 is because the mobs, unless they've scaled it differently, the mobs out there kind of generate a lot more XP as well as the quest, so it might be faster leveling, but I might be trading speed for an increased chance of being one-shotted, or overwhelmed, should I say. don't think there's anything faction-wise out here. I know at one point they had some PvP going on with the holiday, but also before then there was some sort of PvP event where a faction side was supposed to control more of something than the other, but I can't remember when that was or when it went away, if it went away. But it looks like this is the only fight path in the zone, so maybe we don't have to worry about horde camps. And why do they put 90s, 100s, and 110s in these low-level horde camps? I still haven't figured that one out. At the very least, maybe the guards should scale to the person's level. That way you have some level of some chance of getting away. So let's go grab that fight path real quick, which is, oh yeah, if you grab the wrong fight path, that'll also end your trip real quick. So I've done that before, not on an Ironman challenge, but just normal questing. Alright, so we'll turn this in, we'll speak to this guy, and we'll walk down the hill just because that's a little steep. So Haggerty, I don't know if how long you've been watching or whatnot, but my general gaming style is that I'm gonna kind of be more cautious than adventurous. So I kind of have the opinion that let me grab this quest actually. See, I can't attack these guys, so excuse me. I kind of have the opinion that it's the Ironman challenge isn't purely skill based. I know it has that surface appearance of, like, you know, if you're really good and you have, you know, you're able to operate your character effectively, you can definitely succeed. But what I've found is that most people die to DCs, to faction guards and stuff like that. So I think there's, not to take away from people's success, and there is a little bit of skill involved, but I think luck contributes a huge factor to it. So that being said, I try to plan ahead and make sure that my path is kind of set, and I don't take too many risks, such as running through a pack of mobs or something like that. I think we'll knock out these guys first, because your number 1 of 5 quest, Tim, is your lower level one, I think. So let's go this way. I think we grabbed everything. Oh, we need to set a Hearthstone. We do not want to go back to Winter Spring. Oh, there she is. Click on her. Make this my new home. Let's go ahead and sell some stuff. Sell everything, actually. Perfect. Alright. So we need 8 fangs and 8 stingers. One other thing I've had to do for the duration of these things is to remind myself to blink. Because I've gone, I think the past 3 or 4 sessions I've only been able to go about 3 hours, just because once that dryness sets in, it's kind of hard to is he under the ground? Is he bugged? Yep. I don't know what's going on there. It's just at such a high, I guess, intensity. How do you ask? What do you think the hardest class to Ironman would be? My first guess would be any class that's not Night Elf. I think for me, Shadow Melts has saved me at least 3 or 4 times. So anything not Night Elf would be 1. As far as specific class, that kind of leaves your Paladin and Warlock. But if you say went for a Gnome class and then our gnome race, and then had to pick a class from there. Maybe warrior? I don't know, because I don't know how the melee tank specs actually, how they fare. I think somebody's already cleared, so I'm going to kind of keep my eye out for our respawns. But I've been trying to debate that too, because I definitely want to do this with a melee class. And I'm kind of leaning toward a monk, a night elf monk, just so I keep my shadow meld ability. But the most difficult, you definitely have to consider race, because a gnome can, I think they can still get out of a snare. Draw Knights can heal themselves. Dwarves only have stone form, so I don't consider that too useful. I think they still have their treasure hunting talent, where they kind of just look for treasures. So maybe let's say a dwarf. So what would a dwarf... You have dwarf paladins, maybe. In my experience with paladins, they kind of hit not that hard. You have a lot of bubbles and self-heal features. But rogues, I've kind of been debating that question myself, because if you look at the WoW website, or the WoW Ironman Challenge website, there's 18 people who've made it to 110, and 8 of those have been hunters, but I don't know what the race breakdown is. So I know that was a long answer to what you're asking, but you know, I feel like when you're discussing the chance to die one time and the most difficult class, it's kind of hard to give that just a one-word straight and simple answer, because each class definitely has their ups and downs. I'm trying to think now. Rogue, I think once you get your healing potion, you're kind of okay with a rogue, because if depending on how you pull, and if you get 3 more mobs, eventually you get your disappearing, you get your damage reduction and whatnot, and depending on your weapons, your damage is pretty good. But I don't know, on a, we'll call it a level 56 noob opinion, I would say a dwarf paladin may be one of the more difficult ones. So we need 7 more stingers and 2 more fangs here. Now, are you considering trying the Ironman challenge yourself, or are you more interested in just watching people? Ooh, Sam's about to die, so let's get him healed up real quick. That poison hits pretty hard, evidently. And give him 1 more heal, and then we'll knock out this spider. Okay, so we have a few over there. I don't think I need these guys for too much, but I don't want him sneaking up on me, so I heal Sam again, send him in there, and alright, so I'm going to stay away from that camp. I don't see too much of a reason to go over there. Now I'm thinking about it, I think there's a randomly patrolling mob or group of mobs. I think they were on Saber, so I don't know if they got rid of them or not, but there's like a group of 4 to 6 elite level 60s. But I thought they were neutral. Haggerty asks, yeah, alright, Haggerty says, yeah, I'm tempted to try it. Currently play on Elysium. So I have full vanilla experience, but Ironman looks like a fun challenge. Yeah, this has definitely been one of the more fun things I've done in Warcraft recently, and I think that says a lot considering Legion's as good as it is. But the Ironman challenge has just been a much different type of gameplay, so it's been a lot of fun for me. In fact, if you do start the challenge, let me know and I'll kind of keep everybody's status updated, because that's what I'm doing with Nylum and Burning Ember. Is every morning when I pop on, I'll start out by kind of giving everybody a status update and seeing where, kind of keeping everybody in the loop with each other. Because Nylum's just started a level 10 monk, and I think he's going to go Brewmaster, and then Exploding Ember is doing a Beastmaster Hunter as well. So, Ohio, good morning. The house is starting to wake up over here, so we'll go as long as we can. Hopefully we can level up to at least 57, and then maybe tomorrow we'll maybe talk more in depth about whether or not to actually look at going into Hellfire Peninsula. Because what I don't want to do is go there at level 58 and then get obliterated by the all the level 60, 61 demons on the coast. Because I think those are pretty tightly packed, so. Alright, so 4 more Stingers and 7 more Dredge Strikers knocked out. Now you think you're going to go with a Paladin, or maybe or something a little bit more safer? Because my tactic's been to just go safe the first time around. I say safe. I've had too many close experiences with the hunter, but I do want to at least kind of get a feel for what it's like the first time when I initially started. It's not so bad now. He's asked, Haggerty asked, do you stream mornings before work? Yes. As of now, for July, we're going to try to stream every morning and see where that goes and how that works out for me as well as everyone else watching. And but yeah, we're going to do it daily in the mornings. We need, alright, so we have that. We need 5 more of these guys. I think we need to find some scorpions. He poisons him. Now, let's see. There's one there. And then there's... thought I saw one over in the distance, but we'll go ahead and kill this worm over here. Yeah, so this morning, just so you have an idea of what classes to pick. How did it break down? There, like I said, there's 18 110s at the moment, which is almost a testament to how difficult this is. But out of them, I want to say 8 were hunters, 2 rogues, 2 monks, 2 druids, a priest, a mage, and a warlock. So I think that leaves off no warriors made it to 110 yet, and no paladin. I think the DK and the Demon Hunter are kind of tracked separately since they don't start out at level 1. Haggerty says, I have most experience with Paladin over the years, but it might be smart to do a safer class. Yeah, I don't know if the reason that there's 8 hunters is because everyone assumes that the hunter is easiest, or is there's just percentage wise there's just significantly more people trying the hunter, but there's more hunters that make it to 110 than any other class right now. I think an equally comparable class should be the warlock, because that's the only class that can actually use a Hellstone without getting flagged. silence. Nope, can't silence that. Okay. And we need 2 more scorpions, so we'll get that one, and maybe there's another one nearby. Sam's taking a bit of a beating with these poisons, though. Alright, so I don't see scorpion on this side. Let's jump over. Oh, there he is. Okay. Hunters have some good safety nets. Yes. The feigned death, the aspect of the cheetah. Then you have your slow, disengage. So there's a good slew of opportunities to get away from any sort of issue. My best so far is definitely the Night Elf Shadow mode. Alright, so we got that. Let's go ahead and turn this in up here. Well, I'll loot this in case it drops a quest. And then we'll head up and turn these 2 quests in, and then head over. I think it's going to be, we'll call that southwest. Keep forgetting you can't silence that. I'll go ahead and heal Sam one more time as we run into town here. Alrighty. Turn that in. We're getting closer. Wind color, proud horn at snare and hold, and so that this wants you to slay 20 dread crushers. Been running into a lot of kill quests today. Winter Spring had a ton. I think I had like 6 or 7 quests where I had to kill 15 stuff. So I think the kill quests kind of slow you down a little bit. Let's see. B takes gather a bunch of things. So let's do that. Enchanting supplies. We don't need any of that. And let's go ahead and sell everything we have. Maybe we'll see if we have a gray bow. Nope. So let's sell that. All of this as well. Go ahead and repair. And we'll get rid of that. Alright, so heading, maybe we'll head this way instead. I don't think there's a faction on that side of the map, so we'll just head that way. At least make it to level 57 today. Alright, so these guys have 3,200 health. And do we need to go in there? Maybe not. No, we don't. We don't. We'll just go around the side over here. The other thing is, if you do attempt the challenge, you cannot have any professions as well, because I think they want to avoid people. I don't know if you can get any benefit from being a blacksmith or something like that, but if you're an herbalist or a miner, then you can definitely get experience from mining nodes and whatnot. So they do frown upon that. You can do first aid. That's the only profession, both primary and secondary, that you can do. Wow, we gotta kill 20 of these things. Good grief. Alright, we're going to be in this area for a little while. It looks like Horde Tavern's down there. So yeah, I don't know what that beam of light is, but or that red beam of light is up there. Let me heal Sam. But that's probably not a good sign for anyone that doesn't need to die. Haggerty says, it's gotta be funny being in Legion content without your legendary. Yeah, I don't know if they do allow you or not. They might allow you, but then you can't have any, say, relics in it. But if they don't, yeah, that's gonna be really tough, because the quest to get your weapon is pretty tough in and of itself, or it was for me when I first started. So I don't know if that was just because I was new at it or if it's gear based, but either way, it was definitely more difficult at the beginning of expansion than it is now. So I almost would rather run around with a white gun than try to get my legendary again, or my artifact, should I say. Okay, so we're getting kind of close. I don't see anything here though. Alright, so we'll go this way. I think if we can go all the way. Oops. Yeah, we're gonna go all the way in the opposite direction just to avoid that. If there's something that looks similar to an alliance camp on the other side, then that's definitely going to be a horde outpost, and I'm not going to get too close to it. We have, how many more of these guys we have? Oh, we got all the stingers, I think. Yep. We just have to kill 4,000 of these things. I think the benefit that the hunter has is you really can just keep going non-stop for the most part if you do one mob at a time. Whereas I think if you're a melee class, you're going to have to stop every so often and heal or eat or whatever you need to do to get to full health again. So we need, what is this? Tortured Druid. Oh, okay, so that's still in that camp. We'll leave those guys alone and move over to this corner. Yeah, we'll keep going farther over here. That way we can kill all these worms. So we're going to go ahead and kill him just because we don't need all that nonsense. And then I think he's far enough away from that. Yeah, he is. So we'll knock that out. Harry says, I gotta get going. Good luck. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Have fun. Have a good rest of the day. While we go ahead and figure out where we can dig up another 12 crushers. So we'll get that one over there in the far corner. and then see if there's an alliance camp over here. I don't see anything that would indicate that, so I don't know. Maybe that horde camp is just like NPC kind of horde as opposed to player based. I'll look at it later. I don't want to run over there and literally be dead wrong. Found the spiders, so we are going at least in the right direction here. What's up, Sam? Yep, there we go. So that's going to be this one, that one, and then maybe one over there. Alright, Sam might die here because of that poison. So if he does, we'll go ahead and let him heal here for a second. Okay. So we got one more stinger we need, and then I think that's all we need from this area. No, we need to kill a few more spiders. So is there anything in here that we might need? Doesn't look like it. So we'll shut that down. And then last spider and last scorpion here. So once these guys are done, I think that should complete that quest, and then we're back to killing the crushers again. We need actually 10 of them. So that might facilitate us going over to the other side of the map and grinding out those quests. So let's go ahead and do that. So we'll go across here, across the road, and knock out these two, and then we'll turn in the quest. Avoid that guy. Kind of keep an eye out for any crushers. Yeah, I'm just not sure about that camp, so I need to get to the crusher. So I'm gonna knock out the scorpion real quick and maintain distance from that little outpost. And then that might get pulled, so we'll save Bestial Wrath for that. Yep, there we go. Silence, Bestial Wrath. And then, yeah, there we go. Mount up, and, oh, there he is. There's another one. Heal Sam up, and then we'll fire away. So that brings us down to 8. Would be cool if another zone like this pops up in the next world. Might be a little overwhelming with all the tunnels and whatnot, but I think these kind of insects kind of go well with kind of the old god theme and whatnot. Knock that guy out. Hopefully the scorpion will turn around. There we go. And then we will send Sam to this one. Which should bring us up to 17, and then I will go turn in both those quests before we start working our way across the road. Trying to keep an eye out for those guards. I don't know if they're aggressive yet or what the deal is with them, so just kind of watch out for those guys. Send Sam in there. Have one more after this, so what would do? So I think I might have saw one back here near these. I guess those are legs sticking up. There we go. Last one. Okay. So we'll go ahead and turn in these. While we make our way back to Cenarian Hold. Oops. So hopefully that will get us pretty close to 57. Go ahead and turn that in here. That's 8,000. It'll be close. I don't think we'll make it, but it'll be close. Good thing is, once we hit level 60, there is a white level 60 gun, so that'll be a nice upgrade for Qyune here. Retrieve Noggle Satchel from the mountains. Okay. So it sounds like we have company? Is company coming over? Oh, maybe the mail? Okay. So with that, what we'll do is we'll take a quick 5-minute break and we'll be right back. Thanks guys.